Page 95, 46. Tomorrow and tomorrow, ellipsis, signifying nothing. This is from Act 5, Scene 5, page 159, 160. CU Honours Papers, 1995. These memorable lines are spoken by Macbeth on hearing the news of Lady Macbeth's death. He says, rather relentlessly, that she should have died hereafter. So it is no use mourning. Macbeth is dead to every feeling. Then he speaks in a soliloquy on the vanity of human life. One tomorrow creeps after another, from day to day, in the full, dull and monotonous way, till the last word is reached in the book of life. That is, till the last moment of life is reached. Each of the past days of our life has guided us, fools that we are, to death, and with death we are consigned to dust. Each tomorrow passes into a yesterday. Each tomorrow comes and goes, befooling man, exposing the folly of man's trust, and leading him on to the way to the dust. The pity of human life is that, like a fool, man goes on living from day to day, hardly caring to know that each day carries him nearer to death. Macbeth then switches to another metaphor. Life is compared to a brief candle, a flickering spark. It soon goes out. If that be so, let the candle of life be put out at once. Life is then compared to a shadow. It is unsubstantial and of no importance in eternity. Man, when he is alive, is no better than an insignificant actor who, for a moment, moves about on the stage with pompous pride and passion for the brief period of his part, and then is forgotten by all. Life may also be compared to a senseless tale told by a fool, a noisy speech full of strong words and violent gestures, but wanting in sense. The speech is magnificent and stands out of its context. It assumes an autonomy and becomes important on its own account. But within its context, the lines give the picture of tormented Macbeth suffering the tortures of conscience. In the midst of material glory, he is a wreck. He meditates on his own life. After life's feverish activities, he comes to the conclusion that life is a vanity of vanities, a pompous but insubstantial pageant. It is his sense of isolation that is prominent in the line. Macbeth is pessimistic about life, but Shakespeare is not. Word notes. To the last, ellipsis, time. To the very last entry on the records of time, a strange mixture of metaphors. From being something that regularly moves forward, time becomes a lengthy scroll. Recorded time, the record of time. Other interpretations are 1. Fixed in the decrees of heaven for the period of, in brackets, a man's life. This is by Johnson. Number 2. The record of time. This is by Hudson. Number 3. That has been and shall be recorded. In brackets, Mason, M-A-S-O-N. 4. Till the last judgment. This is Ellison, E-L-I-S-O-N, in brackets. Lighted, ellipsis, death. Quote, each tomorrow in its slow-moving pace, till the end of time becomes a today, each today a yesterday, and hence our yesterdays have lighted fools, in bracket, mankind, on their way to the gloom of death, unquote. Bracket open. Cunningham, who accepts Theobald's conjecture of dusky for dusty. Brackets closed. Dusty. The reference is to the biblical passage such as, quote, all go into one place, semicolon, all are of the dust, semicolon, and all turn to dust again. Close inverted commas. in bracket, Ecclesiastics, Ecclesiasticus 3, 20, brackets closed. Brief candle, transient flame of human life, cross-refer to, quote, how oft is it that the lamp of the wicked is put, unquote, brackets open, Job, comma, in Roman letters 21, full stop, 17, brackets closed. A walking shadow, a hollow unreality in spite of all its activities. Shakespeare is fond of metaphors from the stage. Actors were often called, within quotes, shadow, because their life is a, quote, perpetual personation, comma, a shadow only of actual existence, unquote. Signifying nothing. This pessimistic doctrine is found in Catullus, Catullus, comma, who says, open inverted comma, for us, comma, once our brief candle is out, comma, waits a sheer night of unending sleep, semicolon, and Seneca, comma, who is his toads, Toads, says, comma, open inverted comma, after death itself is not, semicolon, even death itself is not, full stop, close inverted comma. Knight makes this pertinent comment, open inverted comma, the theme of the false appearance is revived, dash, with a difference, full stop. Page 96. It is not only that Macbeth sees life as deceitful, but the poetry is so fine that we are almost bullied into accepting an essential ambiguity in the final statement of the play, as though Shakespeare was expressing his own philosophy in these lines, close inverted commas. But this is dramatic poetry, and it is Macbeth's philosophy, rather than Shakespeare's, that is revealed here. 47. I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the friend that lies like truth. Act 5, Scene 5, lines 42 to 44. Macbeth is nearing the end of his life. His illusions crumble one by one. The messenger reports that as he stood his watch on the hill, he looked toward Birnam, and he thought that the wood began to move. Macbeth is furious. He was fortified by the sense of security that the wood cannot move, and so he will not be cut down untimely. He will have a natural death and live the allotted span of life. At first he is angry and calls the messenger liar and slave. He will hang him alive. But then his mood softens and begins to feel that this may be true. He can no longer give free rein to confidence and determination. He now sees the ambiguity of the utterances of the witches. They speak lies which sound like truths. His confidence weakens, and he begins to realize that his fall is imminent. 48. I begin to be weary of the sun, next line, and wish this estate of the world were now undone. Ellipsis. Next line. At least we'll die with harness on our back. Act 5, Scene 5, lines 49 to 52. Macbeth's moods of weariness and hellicosity are combined in these lines. He hears from the messenger that the Birnam wood, Birnam, now moves to Dunsinane. His false security gives way to despair. He begins to be disillusioned. He now knows that he can neither fly away nor wait now. He must face the situation and throw defiance to his enemies. His mood of despondency is followed by that of desperation. He throws a challenge to fate and wishes to destroy the whole universe. His heroic spirit remains till the end. He asks his men to sound the alarm bell. He would sally forth to meet the enemies. He would die fighting. He no longer wants the attackers to stay in siege, quote, till famine and the ague eat them up, unquote. He leaves the castle and thus enables the prophecies to be fulfilled. He would fight with his armor and die desperately in fight. 49. They have tied me to a stake, I cannot fly, next line, but bear-like I must fight the course. Macbeth finds that he cannot fly, he has therefore to fight. He is surrounded by his enemies. He compares himself to a bear who is tied to a stake and dogs are relayed for attacking the bear. The bear wants to fight the round in which dogs attack the bear, but as it is tied, it cannot. The dogs run after it and bait it. Bear baiting was a favorite Elizabethan sport. A course, within quotes, was the technical term for a bout or round between the bear and the dogs. The image is appropriate to the condition of Macbeth at the time. The old image of being cribbed and cabined returns, and he laments his confinement, his lack of old expansiveness. Like a bear, he has been overhauled and he is tied. 50. Why should I die the Roman fool and die? Ellipsis. Do better upon them. Act 5, Scene 8. Lines 1 to 3. Macbeth has sallied forth from the castle to meet the enemies. He is surrounded by the enemies, and his soldiers have deserted him. He knows that his defeat is imminent, but still he would continue to fight. He has said that he would fight with armor on. He would not commit suicide in despair and in fear of defeat. Page 97. His will to live and fight is still strong. His courage is still prominent. He recalls the Roman warriors Cato, Brutus, Antony. They committed suicide in order to escape the humiliations of defeat and capture at the hands of the enemies. But Macbeth will fight till the last. His heroic spirit is retained till the end. His valor is kept up. He will not submit to humiliations. He remains a hero till the end. 51. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. Act 1, Scene 5, line 62 to 63. This is said by Lady Macbeth to Macbeth. Lady Macbeth gives this advice to Macbeth because she finds him nervous and agitated. In brackets, your face is book where men may read strange matters, unquote. Brackets closed. This advice signifies that Macbeth will deceive the men by suiting his look to the occasion. He will show welcome through his eye, hand, and tongue. He will look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. His face will be beautiful, but his heart cruel and spiteful. He will hide his heart under a false face. In short, Lady Macbeth asks her husband to be a dissembler. Lady Macbeth wants Macbeth to do nothing but to put on a good face, so that his face does not betray the heart. But a serpent also stings, so he will not be completely passive. Short objective questions and answers. Question 1. What is the possible date of composition of Macbeth that can be deduced from internal evidence? Answer. Internal evidence suggests that Macbeth was written sometime in 1605 or 1606. In the Porter's speech, there are references to the bumper crops and the lowering of the price of corn, and to the equivocation of the Jesuit. These fix the date of composition sometime in 1605 or 1606. Question 2. What are the possible sources of Macbeth? Answer. The main source of Macbeth is Holinshed's Chronicles of England, Scotland and Ireland. For the witches, Shakespeare owes to Reginald Scott's Discovery of Witchcraft and King James's Demonology. Question 3. When was Macbeth first printed? Answer. The play Macbeth has no quarto edition. It was first printed in the folio of 1623, which is regarded as authentic. Question 4. Why does the play Macbeth open with the witches? Answer. The play Macbeth opens with the witches because the witches are the personifications of evil, and in Macbeth we are introduced into the nightmare world of evil. Question 5. Fair is foul and foul is fair. How are these words related to the theme of the play Macbeth? Answer. These words are uttered by the witches in the first scene of the play Macbeth. They anticipate the subversion of values and are related to the major theme of the novel. Macbeth will overturn the accepted values by unnatural acts. Macbeth's first words in the play, foul and fair, are the echo of the words of the witches. It establishes an unconscious contact with the witches and is dramatically effective, anticipating the blurring of good and evil in Macbeth's mind. Question 6. What bloody man is that? Who makes this question? What does he mean by the word bloody? How many times blood occurs in the play? Why is it a persistent image in the drama? Answer. This is a question made by the King Duncan at his camp near Forres, Forres. He means by bloody, bleeding. He has come from the battlefield and is bleeding, in brackets, smeared with blood, certainly due to his fighting with the enemies. Question. This is page 9. Blood image is a recurring image in the play. It occurs as many as 100 times. It signifies the horrible crime which forms the action of the drama.